Hi all, I'm doing this video specifically to talk about search head clustering. Alright, configuration of search head clustering is really important concept. This is being asked in interviews also. A couple of people asked me to explain about this search head clustering. We will see the process of the search head clustering in this video, and this is really important. Being an admin, you should be aware of search head clustering and index clustering. We will talk about in this video specifically I will talk about only search head clustering. In my next video I will talk about the index clustering as well. Now, to start with, like search head clustering is, you need to have a couple of prerequisites. Okay, so you can actually answer interview also in the similar way, whatever I'm going to tell you in this video. Okay, so please, follow me very carefully so that you will understand the process. Okay, so the prerequisites for search head clustering, first thing, you need to know what are the prerequisites. Like you need to have the system requirements. Each member must run on its virtual machine VM, and all machines must run on the same operating systems. Okay, you should not have a couple of systems running with Linux, or few or with Windows or Mac OS. It should not be the case. Make sure you have all the systems running in the same operating system. And then all members must run the same version of Splunk Enterprise. Okay, so let's say you have 3-4 members are doing this such a clustering, and you need to have all the machines should be running on the same version of the Splunk Enterprise. Members must be connected over a high-speed internet. Okay, this is really important. The if you have a high-speed internet, because you don't have any sort of interruption to your process while you're doing it, right? So make sure you have a high-speed internet, and there must be at least 3 members deployed to start a search head cluster. Okay, so make sure you have 3 members deployed to start this process. All right, so now after that, when you have all these prerequisites, what you have to do is you need to met the replication factor criteria also. Like this is very important phase where all these replication factor must be met for all the scenarios. Okay, we all know what is replication factor, right? Replication factor is something, number of copies that the system determines. Okay, this is again individually also this can be asked in the interviews. Replication factor is nothing but number of copies that the system determines is called replication factor. Replication factor by default, it is 3. Okay, number of replication factor by default we give it as 3. All right, so make sure replication factor scenario also should be meeting in this point of time. And other system requirements, like you need to have updates to dashboards, reports, new saved searches created are always subject to the captain. The captain takes care of all this. Okay, so captain will take care of all this. Before we configure search head clustering, we need to configure deployer, because deployer IP is required to create a search head cluster. Very important phase. So before you do search head clustering, you need to configure the deployer. Okay, now basically to understand what is deployer, like deployer is something which is used to send the configuration files or apps to the other search head members. Okay, so it distributes apps and other configuration files to the search head members, and after that it can be co-located with deployment server if deployment clients less than 50, and can be co-located with master node, can be co-located with the monitoring console, can serve only one search head cluster. The cluster uses security keys to communicate, authenticate with search head members. Okay, so this is the things that you will be doing in the phase when you configure the deployer, right? After you do that, you need to configure the deployer. you go to opt splunk etc system local and vi server.conf. This is the command which we'll be using in this process. Okay, please remember the command. It is very important. One more thing you need to remember, the configuration file which we are using here is a server.conf file. Okay, so just remember this: opt splunk etc system local and vi server.conf file. And after this you need to add the stanza. Okay, this phase is also very important. You need to tell about stanza also, even if it is asked in the interviews. Okay, you need to add the stanza. It is a search head clustering pass for sim key, which is equal to password, and search head clustering underscore label cluster 1. And then you have to restart, because the Splunk, since the changes have made in configuration files, as usual, we need to restart the Splunk. While setting up the search head clustering, we first have to create a deployer as above. Okay, we created a deployer, and then when it comes to setting up a search head clustering, the first thing we need to do is to log into a particular search head and run the command by going to the bin folder. Okay, as follows: Splunk init. Okay, Splunk init search head clustering, authentication user ID password, and then management underscore URI IP address, and then you need to follow this standard HTTP followed by MGMT. This is a standard process that you'll be doing while doing the search head clustering. Okay, you need to give replication port as well, which is 9000 replication port. Okay, and then replication factor should be 3. Okay, and configuration file deploy fetch, and then deployment IP address. Okay, deployer IP address is 8089, and secret password of the deployer search head underscore label cluster name. So this is the process of installing the search head clustering. I hope this will help you friends, because this is really important process to understand. Being a Splunk administrator, you need to know the process. This will help you to explain in the interviews very well. Okay, so please do go through this and understand the process of search head clustering, search head clustering, and also the deployer. All right, thank you for watching. I hope this video will help you to learn this process. We'll see you in the next video.